Alright, so color correcting. This is not to get confused with color grading and color correction. We are simply correcting the colors of our clips. So right now in my timeline I have two separate clips, but one appears to be more foggy while the other seems to be more vibrant. So the basics is to just go to Lumetri color, and you can go to Windows and then pop up Lumetri color there, and from here you have multiple drop down menus. So the two that we're going to be working with is basic correction and creative. As for curves, color wheels, HSL, I'll have future uploads where I'm explaining all of those, but for now we're just going to go to the basic correction. Now, when one clip is more foggy than the other and the other is more vibrant, what you want to do is make sure your clip is selected, and from there you can go ahead and play with the temperature, the tint, and you have all these settings that affect the different colors of your clip. As for the temperature and the tint, when you scroll one up, a good thing to know is that your tint is going to have the opposite effect, like lightness and darkness. So to balance them out, you would simply just want to make one more warmer or colder, and then increase the tint, and that's one way to play with the color. And really with color correction, it's important to just play around with it yourself, and maybe you'll learn something on your own. So just how we talked about opposites, exposure and contrast are direct opposites, so you can go ahead and play with those. Highlights is very important, so we can see our sky is very blue here. If we increase that, our sky would appear to be really blue, but if we decreased it, it would make our sky darker, which aligns more with our second clip here. So that is color correction in that sense. We're going to go ahead and change to our creative drop down menu, and what we want to focus on is this sharpen here. So sometimes whenever you're shooting with your camera, your clip can appear to be very, very blurry. Something's wrong with it. So you would want to go ahead and sharpen it, but the problem is you don't want to overdo it, or else your clip will look very sharp, and that does not look natural at all. So you just want to keep it to a minimum. And another thing that you can do in this Lumetri scene is to actually have different sorts of filters. So you can go ahead and play around with different kind of filters, and it'll give off different cameras. So you can just change your filter like that easily. And let's go into our second clip now. So whenever you're working on projects, it's impossible to go ahead and apply the same effects over and over again. Remember them detail by detail. Luckily for us, we can go into our clip here to the effects control panel, and we have our Lumetri color that we messed around with, and we could just go ahead and copy it, or Control C, and we could go to this clip and press Control V, or you can just right click and paste it, and you can see that the same color presets Lumetri has been added, and they're both sharing the same values now. So it wasn't long, but those were the basics of color correction. I'll go into more advanced topics into the future, so if you are interested in that, you can go ahead and subscribe, and then you might see it pop up in your feed later. Without further ado, like, subscribe, and thank you.